Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We have another Arc Raiders video for you today, getting into the weekly trials for the week of 11/17/2025. November 17th, for those that do 17/11/25. I know, Americans, Europeans, we all do shit different, it seems like, just for the sake of doing it different. Either way, we'll get you guys the information here, real quick recap of what the trials are, and we'll get you some tips on how to get your points up there. So let's not waste any time and get right into it. Okay, so trials are up. If you are not sure what trials are, go to your Raider screen, go to trials, and it brings up this list. These happen once every week. They are a personal best measurement. So each individual raid that you go into will be its own measurement of points. They don't accumulate, they don't stack up. You can do these in squads, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any individuals this time, though I didn't get a chance to verify that. Usually the individual measurements are the kill arc of different kinds. That only counts for one person in a group, but all of these so far every week have counted any of the damage ones. It's shared damage. So if your buddy kills a leaper, you get the points just the same as if you did it. Now each leaderboard, each leaderboard is different. You get placed into a leaderboard with 100 people, and that is that. It's not anything crazier. It's not random, but it kind of happens as you play and as you set your scores. The ranks. Right now, the highest rank you can possibly is wild card. That is if you've been in the top tier with every leaderboard each week. Now, they change a little bit. They get harder. It started off with you couldn't derank out of rookie, obviously, because there's nothing to derank out of. Well, I guess, you could go from rookie 3 to rookie 2, but that wasn't there. In tryhards, you could derank. It was the top 30 moved up 2, and then 30 to 60 moved up 1 rank when you were in the rookies. In tryhards, it was the top 20, and then 20. And then I think the bottom 20, I don't remember exactly. I think the bottom 20 deranked on the leaderboards there. Now that I'm in wildcard, anybody that's in wildcard, your leaderboard's a lot different. Only the top 10 go up 2 points. So it's going to be way more competitive. And then your top, not top 40, 11 to 40, those go up 1 rank. And you can see that right here. It says right here your promotion and then your 2x promotion. If you are in 41 to 79, you will just stay right where you're at. And then if you're 81 to 100, so the bottom 20, you will lose a rank. You'll go down. So I would go, for example, or anybody in that thing would go down to tryhard 3. Okay, so that is it. As high as you can be right now is wildcard 1, just based on what it is. We got another 6 days. So let's talk about what the trials actually are. Damaged leapers, straightforward. Shoot yourself a leaper, damage it. You don't even need to kill it, just damage counts. The key to this is to do it on major events, and this is for most of them. We'll get into a caveat there, which would mean electromagnetic storm, any of these bottom selections on a map. So night raid, electromagnetic storms, bunkers, the new gates, I forget what it was called, the new one that's on Blue Gate. Anything on these bottom things will give you 2x points, and you can see that in the top right here. You'll have this little 2x symbol. So that is where you want to do your trials, if at all possible. Now, there are things for the probes that would make sense to go. You could do these off of the trials because there's so many probes. But I've always had better luck doing those at night. I'm jumping ahead. Let me go back here. So damaged leapers. You're going to want to find a map that has obviously multiple leapers that can spawn at night. This is most of them. I would probably try to do this on spaceport because you don't have to move around a lot and you can pull the leapers towards the middle of the map. Obviously danger for PvP and stuff like that, but you don't have to do a lot of running around. Dam battlegrounds is also pretty good. There's almost always a leaper at one of the extracts, and then one is there one down in the pond? No, that's a bastion at night. So dam is probably not a good one. There is one on Buried City, and then there are 2 on Blue Gate. But I'm thinking spaceport's going to be the best place to do this. You can probably get, it's going to be like bastions last week. You're going to, at best, you're probably going to be able to do 6. That's just because they can take anywhere from like 10 to 15 minutes to respawn. I've seen them respawn as fast as 10, but sometimes they don't respawn for like 15, and I don't know what the difference is there. I don't know if it's because somebody's too close or if the timer's random or what it is. Either way, 10 minutes per. One thing that might help out if you can find 2 leaper spawns during the bunker event, the time for the raid is extended. It gives you a little bit more time. So keep that in mind. I don't know of the leapers on bunker event, but it might be worth checking out. Now, damage matriarchs or queens, you can't do this on a 2x event, but it's pretty straightforward and simple. Just damage them. And since it's a single raid, the person that's going to get the most out of this is a team that pretty much kills an entire queen or entire matriarch by themselves. Pretty hard to do because always somebody taking pot shots. But I believe the max damage is around 27,000. So that is going to be, assuming the points are the same, that's going to be right around where the max points are here. Harvest plants, again at night. There's lots of places you can do this. Dam Battlegrounds is great if you know the mulane spawns. The waterways that lead down into the swamp, the places where I've always had the best luck looting these on Dam Battlegrounds is going to be right here off the pattern houses. There's a little river that comes down. There's like 6 or 7 total spawns here. There's more on this little waterway that comes down here and some that come down on this waterway. And then you've got various ones scattered around through the swamp. There is some down in the base of the water treatment control plant. And then there are plants, actually trees and stuff out here that you can loot on the islands. I do not know if there's any mulane down in this area. I haven't ever looted it or in this area. Might be worth checking. There is some inside the testing annex in the water down below on the very bottom floor. Those are going to be your mulane spots on the hydroponic dome complex. But also inside the domes, the moss, at least this was that way 2 weeks ago when we had a harvest one. The moss, mushrooms, and I believe the fertilizer even all counts for harvesting. The trees are supposed to count, but we had mixed results. Sometimes they would, sometimes they wouldn't give us points when you're like kicking the tree. So I'm not entirely sure what was going on there, or if we were just misremembering, if we weren't looking at it correctly. But that leads to Dam Battleground, or to Blue Gate. Again, do this at night, a way better chance of getting your score doubled. The next best bet is going to be Buried City, at least in my opinion, and that is to go to the Galleria. You've got 2 floors for sure, but maybe even the bottom floor has a couple on them. Just tons and tons of mulane in here. And again, these are shared. You and your teammates looting, it shares it all and it adds up. So even if you're in a group, one person doesn't have to loot. Now with that, on this around the edges, you have agave and the prickly pears that you can harvest as well. You just have to go through the activity of harvesting. Picking stuff off the ground, picking fruit up off the ground doesn't count, but any of the actions of harvesting do. To help with that. Now, there is stuff in the nature area in here, but I have never actually run through this open field. I just never have. I've run on the edges of it. I've never gone right up the middle of it, just because there's always a bastion or a bombardier, and then lots of players looking in that vicinity, or quickly can look in that vicinity. Next up, let's talk Blue Gate. Now, Blue Gate has lots of stuff to harvest down here. You have an orchard on this side of the village. It might be down here, actually. It's either here or here. I don't remember exactly, but it's got a couple of trees. Then obviously you have the Olive Garden that has a ton of trees all the way up here on the ruined house side, and then on the front side. And then there is mulane scattered down in the woods as well that you can harvest. And I even believe there's some down in here. I might be misremembering that though. But again, it's not going to be as good as some of the other maps, but it'll give you an opportunity to maybe just get your 3 points. And I guess I sort of talked about that earlier. We'll kind of jump back here and screw the video flow up a little bit because I want to make sure I discuss it. Even if you're not going for your leaderboards, I don't care if you're all the way back on the ranks, all the way back here at the start, you should be doing at least the bare minimum to get your 3 stars, because these loot boxes are so worth it. I've gotten some of my best recipes out of them. I've gotten some great guns, some great attachments, and some just random little stuff that's helpful for your matches. And it's easy to do. 4,000 points for most of these is not hard. You might struggle with the queen. You could probably get away with bringing a couple of wolf packs in and trying to throw those at her from a distance when somebody else is fighting her, just to snipe your 4,000 damage, or buy yourself a whole cracker and rip off. You got to shoot quite a few rounds to get to 4,000, but you can do it. Just don't do it with the intent of killing her. Just do it with the intent of getting a little bit of damage and get your points, your 4,000 for all of these. Next up is Arc Probes. This is the one where there is an event for it. If you do the event, the probes, there are so many probes on the ground on the map, but it's not 2x, so you have to open twice as many. Now the good news is you don't have to be the first one to open them. If somebody cracks a probe open, just run up and loot it real quick and you get the points. And you don't have to actually loot the all the loot out of the probe to get the points either. So if you're kind of stressed out and you see a probe, you crack it open. As soon as you get in the inventory, back out and you get the points. This one's tough. I know people that did get their high scores on their leaderboards doing it with the probes event. I was never able to do that. I always had more points from the one run I did at night, cracking probes, the ones that landed. And I think I even did it on Damn Battlegrounds, which isn't the easiest place to do it. Somewhere like Blue Gate and probably Spaceport are just going to be easier to do it because they're so much more open. You can actually see the probes when they come down and run for them, because you can see them. They fly. Some of them are there when the map starts, but a lot of them, as the raid goes on, you can see them fly in and land, and so you can kind of chase them down. The last one is just straight damaging flying arcs. You're going to be able to farm. Obviously, Rocketeers have more points. A single wolf pack along with a few shots from a hole cracker will bring these down and give you the most points per period of time. But even using snitch scanners, one thing you can do is if you see a snitch, shoot it, get it almost dead, wait for it to call in its backup, kill it as it's flying away, and then shoot its backup, pick up its scanner and throw its scanner on the ground and kill 2 or 3 more right away. That's going to be the kind of ways that you're going to rack damage up. Again, at night or during a major event, the longer you have like a bunker event, man, this is going to be where you're going to really be able to run away with your points. The damage flight always seems to be this last one on the right. This is the one where you're going to be able to get lots of points over other people. I guess last week it was on the left, but this is going to be the one that stands out. Everybody else is going to be pretty close on the rest of these because they're either not worth as much points or they're just so limited with a cap that you're not going to see huge ranges. But the damage flying arcs you will, because of little clever strategies like what I just mentioned. People killing 4 Rocketeers in a match. Like Blue Gate, for example, 2 Rocketeers at night, if you didn't know this, night, and I think even electromagnetic storms. At night up at the Pilgrim's Peak, there's 2 Rocketeers up here. And if you go up there and just kill those on respawn and then hang out up here and just shoot anything that's flying that you see down below, you're going to be able to do pretty good and not have to move and not take a ton of risk with other players pushing you. It's really hard to push Pilgrim's Peak. You can do it, but it's really hard to push a team at Pilgrim's Peak that's well set up. It's just kind of high ground, Annie, right? So those are the tips for this week's trials. Try to get, like I said, at least try to get your 4-star or your 3-star, your 4,000 points on each of these to get your rewards. It's so worth it, even if you're not interested in competing in the leaderboards. We are getting into where the top leaderboards are going to be super competitive. It's going to be a stress. We pretty much set our top score. We were in our top rank with our first try. It wasn't too big of a deal. Our first try on each of the deals. This time it might take 2 or 3 raids to really guarantee your slot in the top 10. You're going to be fighting for this, especially compared to what we saw last week. I think I was 70,000 and I still only took 3rd. So it might have been 2nd. So yeah, it's going to be competitive. So keep that in mind. We're going to start really skinning this down. Now, next week, obviously the highest one's going to only be wildcard 3. So I don't expect the leaderboard to change the setup, but it could. I expect next week to still be 10 as well. But after that, it's going to be kind of crazy. I'm wondering if Daredevil goes down to 5, and then what Hotshot, and then Cantina Legends, the top 100. But this will only be the very last week that we see this based on, we'll have 23 days left at wildcard 3, and then what is it, 17 days or 18 days on Daredevil 2, and then Hotshot will be, so it's going to be the last week really competing for the Cantina Legend, unless Hotshot and Cantina Legend end up being the same week, which it could be. But man, it's going to be really interesting leading into the last week before the season resets, I guess. And that is when your ranks all lock in. For those that are wondering, all of these rewards that you have on your ranks, that's when they lock in, is at the end of the season. So if you get to Hotshot and then derank down to Daredevil at the end of the season, you will not get the Hotshot. It is wherever you're at when the season ends. That's what you get for your ranks, at least your rewards. That's it, folks. Again, hope this is helpful. As always, I like doing these every week. Sorry, this one's a little bit later. I try to do these right first thing at midnight when they hit my time, or I guess 1 a.m. when they roll over and you can actually see. But with Tarkov launch, I'm a little busy. But again, if you got anything out of this is helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe with that notification bell, because then you see them right away and you don't have to wait a day or two for YouTube to show them to you. It just tells YouTube what you want to see. That's all it's about. Plus, it helps me out a ton. It really does. I'm not gonna lie. It definitely helps me out, but it is for you as well. It's a double win relationship, if you will. We're gonna keep up with the Arc Raider content. We'll do these every week. I'll strive to get better at the guide side of it. I'm trying to figure out a better way to do it quickly to show you guys how to do this stuff. If we have a really banger raids and we're doing it again, we'll do a video showing the actual raids of us doing these to help you guys, so you can see what we did, because we're usually almost always in the top 3 or 5 every week. And if you just mimic what we do, you'll be golden. You'll certainly beat everybody who isn't following them, at the very least. So we'll wrap up there. I hope you guys have a good week in Arc Raiders. I hope you're enjoying the game. If you're playing Tarkov, I hope you've been able to get through the 1.0 struggles. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I wish you the best of luck in your raids topside in the Rust Belt, and we'll see you in Speranza.